Actually, no, I didn't. I probably should though, but I have to wait until I have a link to share. So at least I'll get that set up so that I can do it. All right, so the starting soon's going. Well, good evening, late evening, friends and family from around the world. This is Mike with your morning dew. Daily events worldwide. Different kind of live stream for you here. We're going to chill out. We're going to drink some coffee. We're going to hang out with my very good friend Steve Cassidy, who's in China. And as you see in the title, this is boots on the ground, China, as we all know what is happening with the coronavirus. So, yeah, Steve, welcome to the live stream. Say hi to everybody in here. So far, we've
Hi,
got a few
everyone.
people.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Hey, you're welcome.
Good to see you as always.
Good to see you as well. Steve and I, we've been friends. We were just talking about this. We didn't realize, we've been friends for almost 25 years now. When we met, we lived beside each other. We were neighbors. And what are we? I think we're a decade apart, right? I'm 44.
I'm 39.
You're 30 now. So we're not even a decade apart. That's
No,
6 years.
no.
So,
Yeah.
when we met,
Yeah, I'll
I
be
think
40 this year.
you were 18 and I was like 24.
Yeah.
And my brother and I were banging on the drums and the guitars and making lots of noise next door for you, your sister, and your mom. I'm sure you just loved it.
Well, it was a lot better when I came over and met you guys.
Right? And then you could
And
hear it.
having our morning coffees
Yeah, indeed. Hockey
and
pot
our
and
afternoon
coffee.
coffees and our
Yeah, hockey
evening
pot and
coffees.
coffee, man. Yeah, always.
NHL 2000,
Yeah. Oh man,
NHL 99.
the good old days. The good old days, my friend.
Yeah.
So yeah, in throughout our 25 years knowing each other, he's actually come out here to Calgary to visit for a bit. He was my roomie for a little while, and then he
Yeah.
ended up getting a job teaching English as a second language
Yeah.
in China. So yeah, let us know where you're at and where your life has taken you, Steve.
Well, I mean, right now I'm currently living in Suzhou. Um, I've lived in Beijing. I've lived in Langfang. Um, yeah, teaching English as a second language for the past 3 years. I'm also a Tesla course instructor, and I do some conversational English classes for high school, university students as well. Occasionally, some business English.
Oh wow,
So yeah,
jeez, you
it's
don't stop, do you?
no. Generally speaking, it's pretty busy, busy, busy all the time.
Good.
Might uh, save for these last few weeks,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Why is
and
that? Well, what's going on?
well, due to this wonderful little coronavirus we got going around.
Isn't it something?
Oh,
There's
it's
over 20,000 cases now.
yeah,
I put out a video this afternoon, and I'm sure you saw the video. There were 20,000 cases, and I've just looked now, and it's already updated another 2,000 cases. That's in
yeah.
a 6 hour period.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I know yesterday morning when I woke up, it was at just over 17,000,
Somebody's
and so I
asking
mean,
here, Troy is asking, so Steve, do you speak Chinese as well?
I
哦
so that's I speak a little, but I don't speak very well.
speaks a little, but doesn't speak very well. Now, how do you say that again?
我说一点点 so that's I speak
一说一点点 washwa
我说一点点 yeah, or 我说一点儿
washwa 一点
yeah, which is the one is I speak like the first one is like I speak very little, the second one is I speak some,
Ah, okay, cool.
and then 我说的不好 is I don't speak very well,
Ah.
or I don't speak well.
Someone else is saying, "Damn, you guys go way back." Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so we've got Troy in here. Welcome to the live stream. We've also got Prophet Berdan, Holy Bible Laws. Thanks for joining the live stream. We have Brennan and Darren and Don. Hello, everybody. Dirty Skies, California, and as well Beyond My Purview. Holy smokes, dude! I haven't seen Beyond My Purview for a while. Welcome to the stream, guy. Wow. And there's 20 people in here. Let's get 20 likes. Smash that like button, everybody. And we're going to get right into the juicy stuff here about the coronavirus. We're getting boots on the ground information from my buddy Steve and Cassidy. YouTube is already is suppressing the information coming out, and so is Facebook. China attacked Facebook with a couple of suits, and Facebook had to abide. And so, literally anything that is tagged coronavirus, they're they're not. It's not being, what is it? Fact checked. Yeah, they're not even going to give it a chance to be fact checked. So and myself and anybody else that's on YouTube and it is making videos, if you're titled Corona or if you have a tag coronavirus or whatever, it's not going to be monetized. It's going to be limited or no ads, meaning they're going to take the ad revenue instead of you. A lot of people profiting from this large coronavirus. Now, the first question I have for you right now is, when did you first hear about the coronavirus?
well, it's kind of a two-part answer to that. So, like we first got reported cases in early December
Mm,
of the coronavirus, but at that point in time, it wasn't being called the coronavirus, novel coronavirus. Um, it was just listed as cases of a couple of cases of severe pneumonia.
okay.
Um, and so not a whole lot of steps were taken at that point in time. Though the information, as I say, was coming out that there was some sort of problem going on, but
Hmm.
they weren't at that point in time. They hadn't identified the situation. They didn't know where it came from, how it was spreading. So that's that's when I first heard about it. So that's probably, like I say, that's probably in the first week of December, into maybe the second week, somewhere around that time. I'm not entirely sure.
Hmm.
Um, and it wasn't
Because we didn't hear
until
about it until early January.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, obviously, I mean, we get news a little bit different than what you get over there. And like I
Hmm.
say too, I mean, you guys didn't hear about it until then because it wasn't known to be, what it is now. It
Yeah.
wasn't known that it was
Was there
such an
any
issue.
deaths reported early? Do you remember?
No, there wasn't. As far as I know, it was just
Okay.
listed as a severe illness.
Severe
But
illness.
part of the problem too, as far as the information getting out, and looking back on things, like checking back through some of my news reports, there was more information that it was more serious than what it was. Like come around the end of December.
Hmm.
Um, but the problem with the information getting out is that things have to go through specific channels, because, like, one, they don't want to create widespread panic.
Yeah.
Two, the government doesn't want to look bad. Um, but there was also some mismanagement of information on the local level as well. So it's when they figured out where it was coming from, um, and they figured out the seriousness of it, they implemented strict measures right quick.
Yeah.
So
Every so often, I'm going to wave at the people that say hi. So just so you know, I'm not. You've
yeah,
said
no
hi many a
worries.
times, my friend, and I'm still listening. I just want to let you know we are all listening.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are all
Yeah.
listening. And
Yeah.
as I said, there's 22 people in here right now, and they're really enjoying the information. And yeah, I just want to catch up on the comments here. Say hi to everybody. As well, Debbie R. Hello, Debbie. It's been a long time. And let's see. This is Jahardis Venter. Hello. How are you? And who else we got in here? Darren Strally. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Multitasking here, looking up at the chat section over here on one screen and talking to my friend Steve here, boots on the ground. In where exactly China are you?
I'm in Suzhou, which is about 750k west of Wuhan.
Oh, west
the
of
whole
Wuhan.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, east of Wuhan. East of Wuhan.
Okay, so I did put
Yeah.
it right in the description because that's what you told me initially.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
And I'm about 140 some odd kilometers east of Shanghai, or west of Shanghai.
Shanghai must be beautiful, eh?
It is. Yeah, it is really quite beautiful. Actually, I'll get into that in a little bit too. Some information there as to what they're doing to take measures. So as far as I know, like we don't have any reported cases in Suzhou as far as I'm aware. But also too, there's people are self quarantining at home, and so there could be people, there could be a lot more people sick, that we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
Also too, there's a huge backlog on tests. Like it says, over 20,000 infected, and then there's also the suspected level, which is significantly higher
because they haven't been tested.
They haven't been tested, or their test hasn't been processed. And there's also, like I say too, there's the number of people that may actually be ill and are just at home. So it's kind of to get an actual number on confirmed cases, but I mean, I would say the deaths are pretty accurate. And now the the cured cases are going up and up too.
Yeah,
and
they outnumber the deaths, which is good. Yeah, indeed.
So they're definitely getting a handle on things.
Yeah. Well, since since it's become world known about the coronavirus, did it change your life much? From then and up into the World Health Organization saying this is a global emergency. Did anything change? How did it affect your life?
It's well, I mean, normally I would go out, especially during this time. So Chinese New Year's, right? And being as I'm a teacher, usually the schools are off for about 2 weeks. So we're going into our third week off now. So the 19th of January was my last day of work. The New Year's holiday didn't start until I think it was the 27th, 25th. I don't know. The following Monday, anyways.
Yeah.
Is when the New Year holiday actually starts. But during this time, most of the locals, they take off. The cities kind of empty out, and everybody goes back to their hometowns, sort of thing. It's a big family-oriented holiday, and that's too why part of the spread has been so much. Because before they put the lockdown implementations in place and really knew what this was, and the level of seriousness, most of over half the population of Wuhan had left.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's and then you've got the people that had traveled in and out of Wuhan during that time. Like Wuhan's a city of a population of about 11 million people. So and it's a business hub, it's a travel hub, just as any big city in China is. Lots of people go, whether they be mainland Chinese or whether they be foreigners. You got people traveling around, visiting all places and just touring. Right?
Yeah.
So, and even trains going through, people getting on trains, just commuting from work to and from. It's yeah. Until things went on lockdown, it's kind of hard to get control over that situation, right?
Hmm. So,
But as
did you
far
get a
as
notice or anything of a lockdown in your area? To stay
yeah,
home.
yeah, I've got one, two, three, four, five different Chinese news apps, and when things kind of came about, it was don't go out. And I mean, not so much don't go outside, don't leave your house, but any unnecessary travel,
Hmm.
don't do it.
Yeah.
We are banned from having public gatherings, so any large groups of people,
Hmm.
including restaurants, like large family dinners out in restaurants,
Wow.
even so
Who
all
would
that
have
sort of
thought
stuff
that
is.
it would come to such a surreal movie-like scene, our world
Yeah, I
today?
mean, it really, and surreal is the way to describe it.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
2020
it
has
is
been.
like being kind of in a movie when you're this close to it, especially too.
Yeah.
Just you know, even still now, like the with the Chinese New Year holiday being over, um, the government has mandated um, countrywide that return to work isn't supposed to be until the 10th. So any enterprises that aren't providing necessary like life sustaining services such as like gas, electric,
Hmm.
water, um, and grocery stores,
Yeah.
um, or factories or something like that didn't close down for the holiday and is still in place. They everything else is basically closed until the 10th. Schools are closed until like regular public schools are closed until the 17th.
Mm.
In most places, some places aren't going back to school until March.
Wow. And what are
Um,
the Chinese officials, and news media outlets talking about, the Chinese economy? Is this going to hurt them?
Well, I mean, it has had a little bit of an impact, but not a huge one,
Mm.
from what I can see. I mean, obviously, your local smaller businesses, restaurants and stuff like that
Yeah,
that are
they're going.
staying closed,
Yeah, they're
they're
going to
going
get
to
hurt.
take a hit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, but there are relief measures in place too. I mean, one thing I could say, I mean, there's a lot of good I can say about the Chinese government. They really do protect their people in a lot of ways, and they do help them out. There are monetary reserves in place for people who are hit extra by this.
Hmm.
Um, I know, like the workers in Wuhan are getting like a $300 a day extra, like per diem sort of thing to help them, which obviously goes above what they actually need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Volunteers are out and about, like taxi drivers, just people with cars that live in the city.
Mm.
They're out volunteering and driving
Nice.
the people, like hospital workers, to and from,
Yeah.
at their own expense.
Yeah.
People around China are donating masks and medical supplies, offering to donate their time to volunteer in any way that they can.
Mm.
So, it is China has a big sense of community, um, and the people need to be applauded for that, as well as the government needs to be applauded for that too,
Mm.
and creating
Kudos.
extra incentives for people to go out and do these things.
Indeed.
You know,
Indeed.
and
And even the World Health Organization, when they did that emergency meeting, they had said that they're really they're happy with how China is dealing with it, and
yeah,
and I mean, look, they've built 1,000-bed hospital in 10
yeah,
days.
yeah.
It's
Actually,
amazing.
it just opened this morning,
Yeah.
and accepted its first 50 patients
Hmm.
into it at
There we go. We're on our way.
sometime around 9 o'clock this morning, my time.
Yeah. Good.
So
Good. So, when I asked you earlier, how has this affected your everyday life? I know you've been a subscriber since day one when I told you I had a channel. But
yeah.
what have you done, and what do you have to do, as steps to stay aware and prepared during this situation? What have you
I
got
mean,
going on?
I keep up on my day-to-day news. I see what's going on in in my city, and as well as in Shanghai, Beijing, what the local governments are saying. The information that they're providing for me, as well too. I mean, like I watch some Western news media, but you know, there's propaganda on both sides.
Yeah.
Naturally, and that's one thing that I can say that I found, having spent, most of the last 3 years here in China, is, like after like growing up in Canada, you hear all these bad things about China. You don't hear the good things,
Hmm.
So
I never heard
there's a
anything
huge
bad.
level of Western propaganda
Yeah, yeah.
um, about, the bad
It's
things
that they have a
that go on
stigma,
here.
unfortunately, created by the
Yeah,
Western world, right? Pretty much.
China is actually a really, really beautiful place.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of green places. There's trees. There's mountains. Like if I look out my window here, I've got mountains just to the, I don't know, just to the east of me here,
Hmm.
and they go all around. Yeah, so it's a really beautiful place. And like you say, there's a lot of green spaces. There's a lot of beautiful trees, gardens. Everything is very
Ghost
nice.
cities too.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Have you
there's ghost
seen?
cities in Canada.
Yeah, but have you seen the videos of the ghost cities in China? Where
Yeah,
they
I have seen
literally,
some of them.
yeah, like literally,
Yeah,
there's one city you can populate 1 million people and it's empty.
yeah, yeah,
Makes no
yeah. I
sense.
know some ones in northern China there. Yeah, where they've gone and built them, and yeah, nobody lives there. They've
So
got a population of like 1,000 people in a place that can hold 2 million.
yeah. So when you go out, do you have a mask? Have you gotten yourself a
Yeah,
mask?
I do have a mask. This is a Cambridge mask, and it's an N5 rated Cambridge mask.
Okay.
HEPA and everything like that.
There is a link
It's a
in my
great.
description below for not this particular mask, but I do have an Amazon link in the description below if you guys want to check it out. There might not be any left. I know Amazon sold out of them the other day,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
yeah.
the N95 are the ones that really do most of the work.
Okay.
Um, and like that's
The
actually I'll
buffering.
touch on that for a second there too. In regards to masks, most masks like your regular hospital surgical masks,
Hmm.
they don't really do a whole lot other than prevent the already infected from spreading their moisture,
Yeah.
which is what carries the virus.
Okay.
Um, so the problem is with them is, when you put them on, you've got holes in the side, you've got holes up above, so they don't stop anything from getting in. They just
Mm.
stop the spittle from coming out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and especially when you're somebody like me who's, a little furry,
Hmm.
it's a lot of the masks like the 3M N95. It's a great mask, but for somebody who's got a beard, it doesn't really do much because you don't get that proper seal, right?
Hmm.
So something like this, which is the Cambridge mask, which is fabric, it adheres to my face a lot better,
Hmm.
and you can actually close everything up around you.
Wow, you almost
Um,
look Chinese when you put that on.
well, yeah,
One more doobie and you would be.
yeah, well, speaking of, I haven't done that since I was 23, 24,
Hmm.
15, 16 years now.
Wow.
So, and that's not something you can do over here anyway.
Yeah, I'll bet you.
So,
Yeah, they'll
yeah.
probably never legalize it over there.
No, 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 no,
No.
never, never. I mean, it
See,
is
and
something.
that's something
It's
I
not. It's
see.
not that you can't get it. It's just. It's
Yeah.
It is out there,
See,
but
this is something it seems fishy. You know, Canada is the second country in the world to legalize marijuana, to legalize a recreational use drug.
mhm.
Now, it's a big freaking country. And what if the Trudeau government was actually just trying to find out who's not buying their legal weed? And then one day just say, okay, marijuana's not legal anymore. Because they could totally do that,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. Another
Yeah. Well,
conspiracy theory. I swear to God, they're trying to shut us down.
yeah.
You
The
know what
thing
I
about
mean?
that though is, Mike, is it wouldn't do them any good. What are they gonna do? Just stop it and then jail a whole bunch of people and spend a bunch of money that they're not making anymore?
They're
You know
trying
what
to
I mean?
shut us all down, man.
Oh, come
They want
on,
us down to 500 million.
come on.
George Guidestones.
Oh,
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a comedian sometimes. So
yeah.
don't take me seriously all the time, Steve. Because I see you're taking me seriously right
No, 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 no.
now.
No, I think it's funny. You know me.
Yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, that's now I got
yeah. So
another
where?
question for you.
Yeah.
Okay. You ever been to the wet markets
Yes.
where this,
Yeah, I mean,
is proclaimed to
I
be
haven't been to
coming
this
from?
particular, wet
Not the
market in
particular
question.
one, but
No, but I have been to other ones, and they are, it's really no surprise, to be honest, like why this sort of thing comes to be
from
when you see the conditions in that. Your average Westerner walking into one of these places, you might be appalled by the way things are. Like
really, eh?
they're not, yeah, they're not clean. Like you've got, because there's the sale of wild animals going on. Like you can buy bats, you can buy rats, you can buy snakes, you can buy dogs, you can buy cats. You can buy all of this shit there to eat, and it's
Okay, that just broke my heart, dude. I
it's
love cats,
well,
man. Like,
on top,
really?
as well, you can buy vegetables in them too. You know, you can buy your fruits and your vegetables there. It's basically one-stop shopping. Other
Wow.
than usually, I mean, I haven't seen any actual dairy like butter, cheese, milk, anything like that there. But
Hmm.
um, the thing is I mean, you've got all these, you've got things in cages. And I mean, they call it wet market for a reason, because it is wet. You know what I mean? You've got animal piss and shit, around. You've got I mean, from people hosing their vegetables, their produce and stuff, and you've got people just walking around and spitting and horking on the ground too. And so it's kind of gross. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like if you go to one of these places, don't wear your good shoes. You know,
Hmm.
wear
So
wear a
it's
pair of shoes that you don't mind
uneducated
kicking down the door.
hygiene,
Yeah,
uneducated dealing with their meats, if they want to
yeah,
call it that.
yeah.
Ooh.
Um, it's it's a different situation. The thing is that primarily it's not something that causes an issue. This is what, once every 17 years. When was SARS? 17 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, these things do happen, and they are generally from these unclean conditions. Now, you know, a lot of it is, it's the older generation who isn't educated on these. The younger generation is
Hmm.
more so, but still, proper hand washing and um, the spread of germs. People just walk around coughing, sneezing, not covering their mouths, and
Comment here beyond my purview says a disease paradise.
it, it kind of is. You
It's
know what I
sick.
mean? It
Yeah.
really kind of is.
Yeah.
Like
I want to hit up the
it's a
comment
little
section
frightening.
here. There's a lot of people talking
Yeah,
here. I'm just going to catch up, okay? All right.
absolutely.
So Linda Hope says, much love and prayers, relatives, love mom. I have 3 moms now. Nice. Thank you. Virtual hugs, Linda. All right. So I got 3 moms. Chinese government is low down. It would rather build megacities to prop the economy than really do some good in the world. Cosmic order is closing down all fools. Hope you're not one. Are you awake, Stephen?
I am awake.
Good. All
I've been
right.
awake for a long time.
And Beyond My Purview says someone paid for them. Why? So I think he's talking about the wet market and the cats and the dogs. So
Uh,
obviously there's demand for them. So yeah,
yeah, that's it.
yeah.
You know,
And then Linda Hope says the city of champions here. LOL. How was the Calgary Flames loss? LOL. Oh, she must be in Edmonton. Yeah, I don't know if you've been watching the Battle of Alberta recently.
no,
Okay, so Edmonton and Calgary, they're neck and neck in the division right now. I think
this is
they're,
for hockey.
yeah, the NHL.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so they're top 5 and they're neck and neck.
yeah.
But
Okay.
about 3 games ago, I mean, they faced each other 4 or 5 times throughout the season, or 6 times throughout the season. But
Okay.
their third meeting, um, uh, Kachuk and another player, I forget his name, but there was a few really bad blindsided hits that were done by
Oh,
Kachuk, and he never really got. They didn't get redemption against him in that game, and then the next game he
uh,
did it again. He got him again, and then he was thrown around like a rag doll. And then yeah, the Edmonton Oilers beat us last week 8-3 on a
wow.
Saturday night.
Talk
Saturday
about
night in
getting
hockey.
spanked.
I know, right?
Jeez.
No wonder she wanted to rub that in there. Appreciate that, Linda. Much love again for the virtual hugs. and as well the bashing of the Flames. It's okay. We'll
Calgary's
get you in the
played over here a
playoffs.
couple of times.
Have they?
Yeah, so we get the NHL team usually before the season starts.
Oh, right.
So they
Yeah.
come over. Yeah, they
Preseason.
often come over here for preseason games,
That's right.
like to Beijing and Shanghai and that.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's kind of neat. I was supposed to go to one last year, but conflict arose with travel plans, so I
Mm.
ended up taking off to go to I don't know where, somewhere,
Mm.
as I always do.
And then we got and Linda says, "Aw, sleep like a baby, Steven." But yeah, you're awake, my friend.
Yeah,
You're awake.
it's the middle of the day for me.
Yeah.
It's not even noon, I don't think. What time are we here? Oh, it's 12:30 for me. 12:30 in the afternoon for me.
And
So,
then Beyond My Preview says, no Georgia Guidestones when you mentioned them. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Do you not know about the Georgia Guidestones? I can't speak apparently.
what is a Georgia Guidestone?
You've never heard of the Georgia Guidestones?
Oh,
All right, so this is a stone that was found in Georgia. It was kind of like
Georgia the state or
yeah, the
Georgia the
state of
country?
Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah, and on this stone was almost like commandments that were written in this stone.
Okay.
And one of them was to sustain full life on this planet, you must bear the population to 500 million.
That's a really small amount of people.
That is a
I mean,
small amount.
the world's pretty big, and the world can hold a shit ton of people.
Yeah, but yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's a conspiracy that's out there.
Yeah.
Georgia Guidestones
Yeah,
and
that's.
New
I mean,
World Order.
500 million people. That's.
This is all
You know
part
what
of
I
the
mean?
agenda, Steve. You know,
Yeah.
they've been organizing and let's say making their moves towards the big finish here. And the big finish is going to be a smart world, not just a smart city in China and a smart city in Toronto and a smart city in Vancouver and a smart city in Los Angeles. No, it's going to be a smart world. Everything is going to be connected to one computer, one government, one monetary system, and our new world order is going to provide a sustainable living environment for the planet. Now, they have 17 steps to that as well, and that's the Agenda 21. 17 steps to sustainable living. Now, there are
Okay.
17 steps which they are going to accomplish by 2030, and every country has to be in align by this,
Oh yeah.
has to align with this by 2030.
Okay.
Now,
Hey,
this is happening, and
yeah.
you can look in NATO, you can do your own research, and you'll find it out there.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes we see what we're looking for, though, even though it's not
somewhat,
really there.
yeah, somewhat. But
You know,
when there's
it's like your
so
it's
many
like your horoscope.
strange distractions,
Yeah, but
you
like I say,
know,
it's like your horoscope in a lot of ways too. You know what I mean? You read your horoscope in the morning, and sometimes your day will turn out that way.
yeah, you relate it to,
You know,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you gotta take all this shit with a grain of salt.
yeah,
I mean,
and
I
I
love a
do,
good conspiracy. Don't get me wrong,
yeah, yeah.
but I also have to play devil's advocate and see both sides.
But don't you think it would be good for the world to have a one world government and a one monetary system? They
No,
say,
because the needs of all the people aren't the same in every place that you go to.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
they're going to create a universal welfare system where everybody's going to have money. Nobody's going to be poor. Everybody's going to get welfare.
well, yeah, well, I mean, but you know what? That's not sustainable on 500 million people
No,
because you don't have people to create the necessary industry,
exactly.
and and the
I
resources
get that.
to farm the food, to mine the food, and especially 500 million people around the entire world. That's nothing.
Yeah,
That's nothing.
yeah.
You know,
How many million
like
people do you have in a 30 square kilometer area?
well, I don't know. I mean, like the population of the town, because I mean, well, it is technically a city, but it's like a second tier city.
Hmm.
So I mean, it's a small city. Is my town of Suzhou is 8 million people roughly.
Wow, eight
Yeah,
million.
8 million.
I had no idea, brother. Holy
Yeah,
smokes!
I mean the population of Beijing is around 22, and they're planning on capping it at 24.
Huh?
So,
Isn't that
uh,
something?
Yeah, Shanghai's around the same thing, pretty close to, I think. Um, yeah, I mean, Wuhan, 11 million people.
Mm. Hmm.
So,
Yeah, so they weren't lying when they said they locked down 20 million people.
well, I think it's around 50 million
50
because
million now.
it's like 17 cities in Hubei province that are on lockdown.
Wow.
Um, like even in Suzhou here, where like I say, as far as I'm aware, there aren't any cases here. At least none that I've seen reported.
Mm-hmm.
There are some travel restrictions, like interprovincial buses have been canceled, same as in Beijing. General transit has been limited, like reduced. Some subway stations are closed. Certain exit on train stations are closed, so that way it's people just funneling in one direction. So that way, tests can be performed.
Mm-hmm.
There's obviously wait lines are a lot longer to
So
get in
many
and out.
people to manage and test. And,
It
wow.
is.
Wow. Quite a
And
situation.
speaking of like Shanghai, I was just reading this morning when I got up that as of today, Shanghai put into place a program where now, in order to go into the city, so if I was planning on going to Shanghai, which takes me about 23 minutes by the high speed train, I have to pre-register on an app to say that I am coming in, and I have to fill out a health questionnaire.
Hmm.
Uh, Relaying my travel situation, if I have any symptoms of anything, blah blah blah. I'm tested getting on the train, like you're just having your temperature taken, getting on the train, having your temperature taken, getting off the train. Masks are mandatory. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, so
Hmm.
it's it's interesting.
Yeah. So it has affected your life, and I mean, how are you?
Yeah,
How are you mentally and dealing with it?
um, mentally, it's tough. I'm used to some interaction, some sort of human interaction.
Yeah.
And so I've been locked away in my house for a couple of weeks. um, I haven't visited anybody. I had a friend that was supposed to come down from Longfeng and visit me, but with everything going on, figured better off not. I was actually going to go to Thailand today.
Hmm.
I should be in Thailand right now.
Oh wow.
But I decided, so like yeah, I canceled my plane ticket because I figured better be safe than sorry. Let's not pack myself into a metal tube,
Hmm.
um, for hours with a bunch of people. And two, with countries closing off their borders,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to get back in, and if or when I'd be able to get back in. I do have a job to go to,
Yeah.
and
Troy says,
so
"Stay safe." Says, "Damn, that's crazy, Steve. Stay safe."
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, working on it, doing my best. Yeah, I don't. I've basically been locked away in the house. I've gone to the grocery store a couple of times to get water and some other basic food items,
Yeah.
some perishables. But yeah, for the most part, I just stay
I mean,
inside.
while you're out there, okay, mentally, are you thinking, "I really hope I don't catch the coronavirus while I'm out today," or are
Um,
you just got the mask on, you go do your
I'm
thing?
Generally speaking, I'm not overly concerned about it. I take the necessary precautions. Like I wear my mask. I've got gloves that I wear, like mitts,
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing. Um, and I wash them as soon as I get home. The mask, comes off. It doesn't get washed, obviously, and then I wash my hands. I actually sanitize, like any plastic containers that I've picked up.
Yeah.
Like if I grab a jug of milk, yeah, I'll pull out hand sanitizer and sanitize that too. Um, Wash all my vegetables naturally, which we do anyways, because there's a lot of pollution and chemicals and shit like that. So,
Yeah.
um,
How's your
yeah.
weather today?
Uh, we're about 12 degrees right now.
Yeah.
12 degrees and sunny
Nice.
today. So yeah, it's not too bad. I've got my patio door open, my kitchen windows and that open, and dining room windows open, so I'm getting some airflow in here.
Nice.
And yeah,
Nice.
and not raining, which is nice.
Yeah. Eh?
So the first week that I was off, it rained every day for like 7 days straight,
Oh,
and
jeez.
on top of being stuck inside the house, then it's raining outside. It's just dreary, no sun, and you're just like, ah, and the uncertainty of everything. And
Yeah.
I mean, it is, to think about it, it's a little frightening, but generally speaking, I can't say that I'm overly concerned. Like I don't walk around, outside and, in fear, like I don't feel like I need to put a hazmat suit on or anything like
Oh,
that.
okay. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just stay away
I
from,
mean, last week I had diarrhea, I had a runny nose, and like my not had nausea. I had
yeah,
everything, all the symptoms, but the dry cough. Okay. Now I'm telling you, it freaked me out for a good 24 hours. I was thinking about it, with all the research that I do and everything
yeah.
that I follow. I got a little bit worried, and then yeah, it just ended up really raw nose, no dry, no dry cough, and I'm fine now. But
Yeah.
yeah, so there. I mean, there was a moment last week when I got sick, and I was a little bit
It's
worried.
funny you say that, because actually I had I mean, I generally have, because it's cold. My apartment it's a good size apartment, and like you don't have like central heating sort of thing. So I have like an air conditioner slash, we call them hot windy, cold windy. So
All
because it's
right.
it's an air conditioner slash heater, but so it heats up the apartment, but it's fairly, like, the apartment is fairly large,
Mm,
so it takes a lot. So and a lot of electricity to heat up the whole place and keep it warm. So generally, I keep it off during the day, and I'll turn it on at night for a little bit just to warm up some. But
mm-hmm.
then I just keep a blanket on me all the time and just dress warm.
Mm,
So my nose does run, um, and then, because I'm a smoker and I'm sitting inside all day, so I've got, a bit of a cough. I don't really sneeze, but that is actually a concern when going outside, is
mm,
that I'm worried about coughing out in public, and I'm worried about sneezing or something out in public, even
mm.
though I'm not having a fever,
Yeah,
because people are being, quarantined when they're exhibiting some signs of illness. So even just to get a common cold right now
yeah,
is something you don't want to do,
yeah.
because, you
No doubt.
might just get checked, and,
It'd be
even
something
if you're
worse.
running, yeah, well,
Mm-hmm.
not even necessarily that it's something worse, but you could get checked, or they could just quarantine you. So
Mm-hmm.
then you're stuck in a hospital or in some holding facility, or they mandatorily quarantine you, like self quarantine you in your house where you're getting checked on.
Mm.
And, that would be a real pain in the ass. So
Yeah, no doubt.
one of those things that you don't want to go through.
I just have to answer a question here. Darren
Yeah.
Straley asked, or no, sorry, it was. Here we go. Oh yeah. So Troy asked, if a person does get coronavirus, does that mean they're pretty much dead? No, that does
No,
not mean they're pretty much
no,
dead. I'm just
no, not
answering
at
you
all.
right now, Troy. Most of the deaths I'm sure occurred. They were elderly or maybe even people who were sick already, people who
Yeah.
didn't don't have the immunity to be able to battle this virus. It's pretty
Yeah,
much
that's just it.
yeah.
It's primarily the older population and people that already have compromised immune systems or compromised respiratory systems. Um, those are the ones that are dying.
Yeah.
And like I say, on the grand scheme of things, when you look at, some 21, almost 22,000 people or whatever that are infected, it's not, the amount of deaths is quite insignificant. You're around 2.5% mark.
Yeah,
But
and we're past the 12-day incubation period now too.
yeah, well, they're saying yeah, between 9 and 14 days incubation period.
Hmm.
But during the incubation period, you actually still are contagious with this.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I heard. Before,
So
during, and after, and
yeah,
it can be contracted through the eyes as well.
well, yeah, that's,
I've heard.
like any sort of these viruses, they get into your respiratory tract, through touching your face primarily.
Mm.
So and it's
Oh,
so
so if you
it's
actually touch your eye, like
Yeah.
rub
So
your
if you touch your
eyes.
eye, and it's not just because you're touching your eye, it's because you're touching your face.
Yeah,
And so any moisture, any contact that virus is on you ends up coming into your mouth, your nose, and gets into
yeah,
your
right into
respiratory
your
tract.
system. Yeah.
So, like, actually being transmitted through the eyes isn't a thing, because it has to get into your respiratory tract in order to. But I mean, your tear ducts do go down, when you cry, your nose, so that
Hmm.
gets into your nose and comes into your respiratory tract.
Mm.
So,
I could
um,
see how that works now. Yeah.
yeah, and that's the primary focus too of the masks, is that, well, one, it keeps you from touching your face generally, and it's more that it keeps the infected from infecting others.
Mm.
So they don't do, I mean, they do somewhat help to protect the shit getting into your face, but it's more the idea is to protect people who are sick from spreading it or who may be sick.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, let's hope this
As with anything
situation gets under
else.
control quickly, because we've now got 22 infected countries and 22,000 cases. Um,
Yeah,
these numbers are staggering.
they are.
Con, uh, as I said,
When you
it
look at
feels
the
like a movie
numbers, like,
sometimes.
yeah, I mean, it depends on how you look at the numbers too. You know what I
Excuse
mean?
me.
Like, you got to think that like 20,000 infected, 20 or 22,000 infected, maybe 25,000 suspected in a country that has 1.4 billion people. You know what I mean? Like, that's a pretty minuscule amount. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying that this isn't a serious situation.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have the potential to become more serious. But with the implementations that the government has put in place, the precautions, and the measures that they've taken, um, I don't think that it's as necessary for people to be, like, people don't need to be all scared and all worried that, oh, I can't go outside, oh, I can't be around other people, and the last thing that they need to do is be fearing Chinese,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in Canada, I mean, there's Chinese people in Canada that and in France and all over around the world that are facing, um, severe, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, I can't think of the word. It's right there, but I've lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, people are scared of them. You know what I mean? They're scared to go to Chinatown. They're scared to have contact with Chinese in general. It's like it's like a racism uh,
Against their own race.
sort of thing against. Well, no. I mean, it's like in other countries. In Canadians fearing the Chinese.
Oh.
The French. I mean, the French over in France, like, they've had a couple of things in their newspapers, like Alert June, and like all this sort of stuff, and it's creating a panic that contact with Chinese um, is gonna get you sick.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not the case.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no need to fear, contact with Chinese people. There's no need to be um, xenophobic. There's no need for any of this kind of crap towards Chinese. Like,
Yeah, no
not
doubt.
every Chinese person is infected, and the majority of them aren't.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Well, and it's sad, there's a lot of people who are taking this and making it worse. And I saw an article earlier saying that the hospital is actually a re-education camp, and
yeah. Well, the amount
some
of
people just
disinformation
have
that's going
no.
around on social media is ridiculous.
Yeah, and
Like,
I'm glad Google
that's
put a
that's what
stop to it.
spreads fear, and that's what spreads panic. Like,
Yeah,
it's good for people to know that what's going on, be
yeah,
informed, but be informed on the facts.
yeah,
You know, don't be informed on the bullshit that's out there.
yeah, and that's
You
why
know,
I used accredited resource that's from World Health Organization, CDC. These are the numbers that they put up, so
exactly.
just so
Yeah,
everybody knows, the source that I'm using is the most up to date and most trusted source right now.
yeah, that's it.
And
And that's
pretty much we got
that's
to
the way to
stick to
get your
one.
information. Don't get it from fringe channels on YouTube.
Yeah,
Don't get it from like fringe news articles on Facebook that say whatever it is that they're saying. Like, actually look at the facts and look and see what's actually going on.
yeah,
Don't make assumptions, especially when you don't know.
yeah. Check it
You know,
and then fact check it again.
exactly.
Yeah, and then
Check
maybe
your
even
sources.
go
Check
to Bing and
multiple
check it there
sources.
again. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Check multiple sources and check reliable sources. Don't check, you know, conspiracy websites.
yeah.
And
Exactly.
that's
Unless
not
that's
giving.
what unless you're into that.
Well,
Some people are
sure,
into
but
that.
you know
Yeah,
what I mean. That's like, it's not actual information.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
maybe on some things they're a little more right than others, but I mean, don't go spreading falsehoods and saying there's 90,000 people dead or
yeah. Exactly. Yeah,
shit like this, right?
yeah.
When that's just not
So
the case.
somebody's saying here, any update on the new 1,000-bed hospital? Now, Marie, we talked about this in the beginning of the video, but if you want, you can give her another update here. Go
Yeah,
ahead, Steve.
so they're actually they're still working on the first one, though it is up and running and it is open now.
Yeah, you said it opened this morning, right?
Yeah, it opened this morning officially, and they accepted their first 50 patients at around 9 o'clock this morning. It's probably more than that now. Like I say, that's a few hours ago.
They were some busybodies, man.
Yeah, well, and I mean, and they're building they're almost completed the second one. That's a 1,300 bed hospital.
Wow.
So that should be done within the next 5 to 6 days, if not sooner.
Yeah.
I mean, like the speed at what they're working and building these is just amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think about it. They need 20,000 beds right now.
Well, that's just it. You know what I mean? They need 20,000 beds, but they need more
in the area.
Is the thing. Yeah. And I mean, the hospitals do have, quite the capacity. There are a number of hospitals, and the hospitals here, they're large, and they do have quite the capacity to hold people. But obviously, when you've got that many people in one area that you're trying to treat all at the same time,
yeah,
it's a little bit more. So people who are in, who are in care, who are having severe symptoms, these are the people that are being transferred to these, other facilities that will be more longer term. So it's not just like you're walking into the hospital and then bam, you're shipped off to one of these, 1,000, like brand new 1,000-bed hospitals. These are the ones for people in recovery or who have severe symptoms at this point in time and need the extra care and dedication.
Yeah.
But I mean, hospitals still too they're being like overwhelmed with people coming and going in. And it is kind of scary, but that's part of they have kind of a silly mentality here too, in a lot of ways that I will say, and I think I can do without offending too many people, is that, they go on a regular day when there isn't, a pandemic going on. They do just go to the hospital because I've got a cold, I've got a cough, I sneezed. And it's a little ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's kind of like they're all little helicopter moms, like little Billy. Oh my goodness, he woke up and he sneezed this morning, so I got to take him to the hospital because he's probably sick and dying.
Yeah.
Like there is a little bit of this silly mentality here, and then they just get sent away with some herbal medicine. So it's it's more stay at home, drink some honey, lemon, ginger tea, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody here.
Yeah.
Ed Everett, thank you so much for joining the show today. Linda Hope, Grandma, my mama, welcome to the show again. Thank you for joining today. King Shafan, welcome to the show. Darren Straley, welcome to the show. Mary McCarthy, Catherine H, and as well TJ Antipaz, welcome to the show. Propaganda is a weapon, he says. This is so true. And we're going to move along here. I believe I'm caught up with everybody now. Again, thank you so much for joining this stream today. I'm trying to get as much information as I can to share with my subscribers, my friends and family from around the world. I hope you guys stay aware and prepared. As 2020 has been an interesting year so far. Many events across the world, politically, geopolitically, astronomically, meteorologically. There's so many things going on. And be sure to check out my video I uploaded today about the polar vortex splitting in half. We've got cold weather dipping down to Turkey on one side of the planet. It'll be dipping down to Albuquerque, New Mexico on the other side. So it's going to be an interesting event throughout the United States over the next few days as that storm front moves across and will bring some extreme weather. So stay aware and prepare, my friends and family in the southeast. We're going to wrap things up here in about 7 minutes. So I figured we'd do an hour live stream. And I'd like to, at least kick it off or end the stream with some not so serious stuff. So let's share a story, Steve. Let's share a story. Come on, let's do it.
Want to share birthday stories?
You can share one story and I'll share one.
Got you.
Sure.
All right. Let's go with the time I got you first.
Okay.
Me, you, and Tony driving to.
Oh, here we go. Why did I get myself into this? Okay, my birthday. Long time ago.
Mikey's birthday. Oh, I can't even remember what birthday this was. What year? Maybe 2000.
I think I had
2000,
just had
2001?
I hadn't had Trinity yet, so I was probably about 22.
Yeah, so 2000, 2001.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I did have Trin already.
Yeah, I think it
Okay.
was. Maybe it
Okay.
was 99, but it was me, you, and Tony.
Yeah.
And we got Mikey thinking that we were gonna kill him. So I mean, we all had a couple of drinks,
Couple of
and
drinks and something else.
yeah, and something else, and something else, and
And
a few
something
other
else and
things.
something else.
And we got Mikey sitting in the back seat, and all the while we're driving out into the bush, and we're telling Mikey we're gonna kill him. So he's sitting in the back and he's getting paranoid, and he's, come on, guys, this isn't funny anymore. This isn't funny. And so we got the child locks on the back door so we can't get out. And yeah, we stop in the bush, like way off in there, and we get out and we go into the trunk of the car. I think I grabbed a saw, Tony grabbed an axe.
I'm still sitting in the back seat, just like looking in the back, and I'm like, what?
Seat.
He's got a fucking axe!
Just freaked right out, thinking we're gonna kill him, and he turtles up in the back seat, feet up, ready to fucking go, as we open the doors, and he starts kicking, and then we just start laughing at him and saying happy birthday to him, and then we took him down to the Gadsby's in Simcoe to the itty bitty titty bar.
That's right, Gadsby's. There we go.
We got him absolutely smashed. On the way back, he's puking out the side of the car. There's puke all down the side of his window. We stop at a stoplight.
Why did I get myself into this?
Town, and he's hollering at girls on the street with puke on his face, puke all down the window and the side of the car, hollering at girls, hitting on them. Good times.
Oh, thank you for reminding me of those such great days, because I can't remember shit. I couldn't remember what happened after that. I remember a story of myself hanging my head out a flying car window when it was piss pouring rain. And I remember we pulled up to a gas station. I remember the gas attendant's look on his face when he came up. He saw the puke on the side of the car, and he saw me passed out, head on the window there. And I couldn't remember what night it was from. So that you just reminded me of that. Now I remember that was from that night. Okay. Yeah, great story, Steve. All right, now it's time for mine. So I believe you were turning 18 or 19.
I think it was 19.
19. Yeah. And so I threw a little house party for her. We were neighbors at the time. And we were having a house party, and, good times going on, some drinks, some hoots, and we had planned for somebody to come and knock on the door. And we were going to tell Steve that it was the cops looking for him. And so, sure enough, knock comes on the door. We don't let him see who's behind the door. And we're saying, yeah, it's the police. And there's 8 cop cars out there. We don't know what you did, but there are 8 cop cars out there, and they want you out right now. They know you're in here. So just go downstairs. We'll let the cops come down and search. So we usher them into the basement. This creepy basement with like no floor, a dirt hole going into a freaking well, and nails hanging out of the freaking. That's where he used to dry meat. He used to hang the stocks in there. Yeah. So we usher him down there, and he's like, "What is going on?" He's never done anything bad in his life. He was a good guy. Like, there's no reason for cops to be looking for him. So it's got to be mistaken identity. And I mean, sure enough, he's protesting, and we're not letting him come up. We're like, "No, man, we're not letting you go to jail tonight, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "No, man, I want to go up. I need to go find out, man, because I know I haven't done anything wrong." So we had, by the time he came up the stairs, we had the cake ready, we had the candles ready, and there was a hallway. And as he's walking towards the door, going, let's find out what's going on. We surprised him with a big birthday cake, and yeah, that was the big birthday surprise for him.
Yeah, you had me going. I mean, I was fucking freaked out, man. Like, that's it. I was sitting in the basement, and I'm thinking to myself, I haven't done anything. What did I do? I haven't done anything. Did I do something? What did I
Oh, good times, Steve.
Yeah.
Much love to you, brother, man. And
Thank
I
you, brother.
appreciate you taking the time here today to hang out with me and the family. It seems like everybody really enjoyed the information and the entertainment that we provided here for an hour. And I'm happy to be able to see it and still be able to communicate after 25 years.
Yeah, me too, buddy. Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was great to share, and ever want me on again, let me know. I'm
Yeah,
game.
you're my boots on the ground in China.
That's it. That's it, brother.
Right on. Thanks very much. I'm just going to give a shout out and say bye to everybody here in the comment section. Linda, appreciate you being here all night. Troy, you're in here all night as well. TJ, you've been in here for a while. Maria, everybody's been in here for a while. I appreciate everybody. Don't forget to smash that like button before you leave if you haven't already. And share with your friends and family from around the world. We are cruising towards 10,000 family members. So excited, guys. Many things coming to Morning Dew Daily Events Worldwide. I've had many dreams and ambitious ideas that are going to come to fruition here real soon. I've got a lot of people who are going to back me up. So thanks again for your loyalty, your support, and watching this channel. Steve, thank you for
Thank
hanging
you,
out.
Mike.
We're going to say bye
All
to
right.
everybody now. Adios.
Hi,
Stay
everybody.
safe,
Thanks for tuning in.
aware, and prepared. Stay young and have fun. Bye bye.